something to be said about hard-nosed full contact. It's like that raw rap all the way back to boom bap. Spikes up, Ty Cobb inspired, killing the corners. Heating up with recklessness, we still getting warmer. Nevertheless, nothing contest, we bring it best. Wile E. Coyote mixed with Roadrunner, full comers. Holding your title hostage, the kings we smoke others. You're either with us or against us, it doesn't matter which. Scouting your weakness, we bring the wrath when we hit. There's never...
You didn't think it was that serious now, did you?
That's what it's supposed to be. That's what they think it is.
You didn't think it was that serious now, did you?
What you think it is? Of course it is.
Man, how many times I got to tell you people? We're over here playing chess while you're playing checkers.
Man.
Once again, welcome, folks. It is another fine edition of the Glue Guys program, Season 2, Episode 9, All Things Challenge Cup this fine evening. Well, I should say not all things, okay? Not all things. Some things.
Couple
not
things.
all things.
Few
all right?
things. Yeah.
I don't know if anybody noticed, so here, let me inform you now, and this is probably the only thing that even comes remotely close. All right, the 15 minutes is up. It's up. It's over. We're moving on. So, in saying that, we have a ton of guests for you tonight. We lost a couple last minute, just like the 40s comp team lost players last minute. We're losing guests. Coach Ernie can't make it. He brought some kind of bug back with him from Florida. I know that for a fact because I was trying to get James Denny on, my buddy on JD Tools, on tonight. He is also sick. He brought something back with him from Florida. And you better lose it by the weekend, bro. I got a big weekend ahead of me. I can't be getting sick. Keep that shit with you. So tonight, we have a bunch of guests from each of the three men's teams tonight. And we're going to be talking about all things Challenge Cup. We want to give these guys some credit. We want to talk about the good experiences they had. We want to talk about some of the results. I'm sure some teams more than others, but we got to talk about all of them. All right, the good, the bad, and the ugly, the actual team performances down there in Florida, okay? On the field, not off the field. All right, let's get that squared away right now. I got to tell you real quick, let's take care of some business. First and foremost, guys, you know, you talk a lot of shit, but we literally only have 16 people in the thread to win this wonderful mic and backpack, courtesy of our friends Ronnie Salcido and Mickey Czar with the House of Rawlings, Mike and Worth, blah, 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 blah. All right.
Ain't it Rawlings West, bro?
All right, just say Rawlings West.
Come on, man. Come on. Make it easy on us all.
The guy wearing a panda fucking hat like he's about to DJ a rave is talking shit to me.
Not a panda, bro. Do you not know what a panda is?
I really don't care.
Pandas are black and white. You will refer to it properly. I will not allow it. We'll refer to the panda. You will refer to the bear properly.
All right, Marshmallow. DJ Marshmallow over there. All right. So anyway, look, there's a thread in the Glue Guys program group over there. All right, all you got to do is put your name in there, and you will be entered into the coin flip. Coin flip. You heard it right. Coin flip. We're doing a coin flip bracket to give this bad boy away. It's huge, man. It's huge. I'm not going to get too much into it. We went over it last week, but the thing is sturdy. Reinforced zippers, man. Somebody finally wised up over there, and they put the little clips on them. Loving it.
Sit the fuck down.
Marlos is having some dog issues tonight. That was not one of his children, folks. I just want to say that on the record. He was not talking to one of his children.
I'd probably say it's one of them too. I'd probably say it to one of them too. I'd probably say it to whoever might have a problem with how I address that, because, you know, what the fuck you gonna do about it?
Anyway, listen, get into the group. There's a post there. Marlos put it up. It says it's supposed to get entered into the coin flip bracket. Flip off to win yourself a beautiful backpack. I love that, the flip off. That's so good. I just thought, change the name of the contest. It's not the coin, it's the flip off.
The coin flip is
so anyway,
flip off,
a free goddamn backpack, and you people are slacking. First of all, quick shout out to chat. Yes, he did look like one of Rihanna's backup dancers.
Yes,
right?
most definitely.
One more thing of business. All right, we finally got him in. All right, thank you, Hitman Gloves, Jose Duran. I am currently, as you can see, I am breaking mine in. I got the Ghost Max ball in there. That's right. the U-Trip stamp Ghost Max ball in there that says Pro-M on it. So before you ask, as far as I know, because I don't make these decisions anymore, it's stamped Pro-M and U-Trip. You're good to use it. Also, a little self-promotion there. There you go, Mickey. I don't want to hear any shit out of you. Got the nice Rawlings wrap on there. That way, at least we're still promoting. But this thing is amazing. Got the nice Hitman in orange. Everything looks good in orange. You people are going to learn someday. And then, of course, the most important part of the glove, the GG logo right there on it. So when I'm K-ing your ass, you get a nice GG in your face as you're walking back to the dugout. All right? Yeah, I said it. All right, anyway, and last but not least, this weekend, I already got my buddy Cliff Gaskell taken care of, but I will have the new Glue Guy stickers with me out at Fountain Hills this weekend. All right, so I will have them with me. All right, if you need one, let me know. Los, are you playing D-ball this weekend?
Yes, and yes. Plus, it's a lot closer than Fountain Hills. Because fuck?
You think?
What the fuck is a Fountain Hills, bro? Ugh.
All right, now you're getting a little pretentious. I'm just gonna put.
I don't know. I might pop up on. Sunday afternoon or some shit like that. But my goal is to not be able to.
Well, that's the hope, obviously.
Yeah, that's my goal. I don't want to be able
over there.
Yeah.
My point was that you may have some stickers with you where you're going to be at for the kids.
I will.
God forbid somebody's over there.
I definitely will.
I know my boy Clayton was looking. I let him know where you'd be, so he may seek you out. Anyway, so welcome this evening. Should be an interesting show regardless. Not what you people think it's going to be, but it will be interesting for its own reasons. As I said, we should have a bunch of guests. I say that with all the hope in the world that the technical stuff gets worked out.
Hey, we're getting a lot of people. We're getting a lot of people. Keep moving.
All right, so I'm trying to pray that all the technical stuff works out. I tried to take care of most of that today. Real quick, let me give you my initial thoughts on what went down this weekend. Man, my last kind of go around, the last thing for me, before I get into the sunset or whatever, I did talk to Vic. I just want to let everybody know that they are already working on the fixes and stuff they saw that happens. He's literally going to have an email in the next couple days of all the stuff they've already identified and are going to work on for next Challenge Cup. People need to remember it's very easy to sit in your armchair and quarterback what you think happened, what you thought happened, what you heard happened. But unless you were actually down there, I have to take your opinion with a grain of salt. So I want to give a quick shout out to the most thankless job in all of this, and that is our boy Vic, West Director, U-Trip, Vic Rivera, killing it, man. Killing it. Everybody had such a problem with the ranking thing, and I wasn't sure how this thing was going to work out this year. I didn't hear one complaint. I did not hear one complaint, at least about ranks, and this guy don't belong there. So, hey, a problem from last year was handled this year, and it's only the second year, guys. Give it time. There's still going to be baby steps, but I'm pretty proud of Vic and the whole crew that was down there. I didn't hear a ton of complaints. The biggest one I'm hearing is that, they didn't necessarily enforce the uniform policy, and that's something they're absolutely looking at. So, look for that email. Maybe we'll touch on it later at at a later program. Maybe we'll be able to get Vic back on again. Maybe we'll try to make it almost like a yearly thing, a state of U-Trip thing with Vic. I don't know. I'll talk to him. But very proud of Vic and the job he did. I know all the work that he put in. I was there from the get-go. I know what went into it, all right? And no matter how much you think you do, I promise you don't. So just when you voice your opinion, which I want you to do, try to take into consideration all the factors, not just how mad you are and how you think it should have went, okay? Keep that in mind. Very easy to sit back on your couch the minute games finish and go, well, if they had. Very easy to do and very fucking lazy, all right? Very lazy. Grow up. Moving on. Very happy how things went down for the most part down in Florida. I know we had many a challenge from my perspective. I made some moves I was very happy with. I didn't make other moves that I wish I did. Overall, the guys who went, for the most part, represented Arizona very proudly. The competitive team got hit with all these last-minute drops. They certainly didn't have the team they wanted to take with them, and they played their asses off. The rec team did what they could through some I don't know the word here. Trepidation.
Adversity.
Trepidation.
Trepidation's not the right use. No, trepidation's not it. Trepidation acts as if it wasn't something that was built by people involved. Adversity is something built by people that are involved.
I felt there may have been trepidation in making different moves. There you
trepidation
go.
would be they would have had trepidation going in. The effect
hesitation
on them would not be. There you go. Better word. Trepidation's not it though. Nice.
Okay,
I saw you trying to shoehorn that shit in. It wasn't gonna work.
I'm trying to come around the back.
Yeah,
trying to come around the back.
Whoa. Pause.
See,
Pause.
I do that on purpose now to try to get a reaction out of people. I got to knock that off.
Pause.
Anyway, listen. Overall, there were some guys on each squad who went down there for the right reasons and really tried to carry teams on their backs, man. I saw it. I paid the $10. You're welcome, whoever got it at National, because I know it wasn't Vic. So congratulations, whoever runs you Trip Live, you got my $10. But I got to tell you, thank you, John. It's funny because when I got to you and talked about you, that was the first thing I was going to say is that John was above reproach this weekend, but you beat me to it, so it's all you. You know, my $10, I wasn't sure going into Sunday. Like, man, I think I got the raw end of the deal here. Okay. And then the 50s just redeemed me, and I made out like a bandit. It was like a 2-for-1. All right. I felt like I got $30 worth of programming for my $10 thanks to the 50s competitive team. They went all the way into the ship game, up the losers bracket, finished a very, very respectable and amazing second place. We'll talk more about the things that happened there. Willie got put in very late in the process and did a phenomenal job. Everybody on that team came together as a team. And once we get those guys on later, I'll get more into detail. We're gonna have Willie on and Kevin McDill. You didn't think I wasn't gonna get McDill on, did you? Got himself a nice medal there. Also, shout out to Shipley. Got I think offensive MVP. I listen. He got a nice medal too. I know Shipley got something. So really, really, really happy there.
Centurions.
Yes.
Centurions. Centenarians, even half centenarians would be
half. Yeah. No, I was more someone using the word trepidation properly when it comes to me coming around the back. That was a good comment.
I loved it. I wanted to jump in there, but I wanted you to keep going. I didn't want to interrupt it. Go ahead.
Yeah. You know, it is what it is. Also, quick shout out to the women's 40s team down there who stayed pretty much all Sunday as a cheering section to the 50s team. It was said to me by more than one 50s player that they felt like that made a huge difference in them being able to close out the Illinois game. Just to get it out there. So I'm pretty proud. They did me. I mean, they definitely did me proud. I mean, everybody was doing what they could. So we're gonna have guests from each of the three men's teams on tonight at some point, hopefully here, barring any technical difficulties.
Oh my God.
We're gonna get into that.
Yo,
I said it.
Look, I don't do this usually, but dude, you've said that, and you don't have nothing to do with the technical part at all.
I don't know what's going on at all.
I'm trying to tell you for the fourth fucking time, everybody, there's a ton of people in right now, and more, and they keep going. Don't worry about that part. We got you. Go ahead.
Are we ready to bring in our first set of guests? I should say.
I mean, yeah. See, that's the right way. Who do we want to bring on first? That's your question.
I apologize. We are going with the 40 competitive team, so we should have Mickey and Arnold available.
All right. Well, let's get them jokers on the show here. I'm going to unmute you guys. I apologize ahead of time. I will say, anybody who ever joins this show, I need you guys to know this. If you join the show, you go to the guest link. We often offer the guest link, but I need you to know it is not free reign. You fuck around and act a fool, and I'll help you learn what that means. Nonetheless, these wonderful gentlemen have been sitting in our lobby for a little bit of time while we prepare and get things going. So thank you all for being here. But I know Mark is going to be kind of leading this thing, but I do want to say from me, myself, I am super, super duper duper appreciative of what you guys were able to do, given all the changes that were happening in the end and at the last minute. You know, obviously you're going way across the country, and I think people don't like to give enough credit about that. You're going way across the country, away from your people, away from what you're familiar with, to go out there and show and represent for us. And, I appreciate that. So shout out to you guys for doing that and everything that you were able to do down there. I am a little envious though, because, Florida is Florida, and there's something to laugh about in Florida at all times. So anyway, We're gonna keep it moving. Mark, let's get on into this here interview with
alligators and people that live in Jacksonville. Yeah, there is. It's basically where cops became famous was thanks to Northern Florida. But moving on. So Mickey, this is your second year going. Arnold, obviously your first year. I want to start with Arnold only because I know that you came on late in the process. And you got to go out there and you had to pitch to some of the better players in the country due to the fact that this year the competitive was major plus and major players. So I kind of wanted to get your mindset as far as when you were asked and then what you faced when you got down there, because you didn't have a bunch of months to kind of mentally prepare. You were kind of like, hey, we need you to go. And boom, here, you're on the mound at Stadium on USA Live. Like, boom. So you go from league night, in Tucson or whatever, out to Stadium and the mound, and I kind of wanted to know kind of your thoughts on that.
Yeah, so I was actually asked the Wednesday, I think it was like Tuesday or Wednesday before the weekend we left. And I just, the main thing was that I had to check with my family, right? My daughter plays club sports. So really I had to turn to her and ask, and her very, very first response was, well, who are you playing against? And I said, some of these guys have their names on the bats. I go, that's some of the best players in the world. She goes, Dad, you got to go. So that was pretty awesome to hear that from her. And so it was literally about a week's time that I had to really get ready and go.
Well, I will say this. And, he could get mad at me all he wants, but you need to get yourself an agent to get with Jimmy and renegotiate this contract. S-Bob now needs to pay, all right? You earned yourself an extension Jalen Hurts style.
Plus a bonus, damn it. A bonus. Pay that man.
You better tell Jimmy he better sell some more solar to afford you now. The job you did and what you were able to do on a lot less notice than I even realized, because I did watch – was I for the way things worked out, I think the team had the right pitcher when you guys got down there. I'm just going to say it right now. Sure, there might be guys that are better known or people may think or more talented. I wouldn't agree with that statement. In watching how you handled it, you were calm as could be. The moment was not too big for you, and I see big things in your future as a pitcher. Out-of-state teams got to look at that. A lot of people watch that feed, so I just, maybe I'm going on and on here, but I just, look, what you were able to do in the short time that you were there, people really can't fathom how incredible it was. And if I got to be the one to educate them, I will. We should all know that by now. We've been doing the program over a year where I just scream at people. Now it's time to scream at something that's worth screaming about. So, phenomenal job. Let me ask you, your mentality when you see these guys with their names on their bats coming in there from Florida and Pennsy and Michigan, whatever. Yeah. Did you change your approach at all, or were you able to kind of focus in and just do the same things that you've been doing here in Arizona?
Honestly, it really came down to the same mindset that I kind of coach my girls on. So I coach a 12U Arizona Storm out of Phoenix or East Valley. Gilbert Mesa area. And basically what I tell them is, hey, you don't look at the other team, you don't look at the other pitcher, you don't look at any of that stuff. You can only control yourselves. If you control yourselves, whatever happens, right? And so I just went out there to try and do the best that I could and try to control the things that I can control. I tried not to let the big names, like I didn't even ask, hey, who's that guy? I was being told, hey, this is this guy. Hey, this is this guy. And I just went up there and pitched them just like I would pitch anybody else that I faced, some of the great hitters on on the Bandits and Blue Pill and Blue Point, the same guys that pop up all the time and that we have great battles with. I just tried taking the same approach as hey, it's just these guys. So they got their names on their bat. They're obviously great players, but just like I said, just basically just trying to take the same approach.
Well, I mean, you got it done, man. You got it done, and I know you guys would have liked the results to be different, but I'm telling you right now, with all the challenges that got thrown that team's way, just in the last week alone, with injury, Rob Winfrey getting injured and guys dropping. It was just an impossible thing, and you guys overcame it. Now, Mick, you've been there before. You've seen it. I got to say, first, let's start off here. What are the differences you saw between last year and this year?
Well, obviously the talent. I don't know if a lot of people know, but we started off against Texas, who is basically made up of Front Row and Homeworks Major Plus teams. And we beat them 24-16 in seeding. And Arnold pitched and hit his ass off. I think he only gave up 16 runs to an entirely Major Plus team, and we hit
Amazing.
And we beat and we beat them. So after that game, we thought we could really beat anybody out there. I thought we could. I mean, we played really, really well as a team in that first game, and it was pretty awesome.
Yeah,
like I said, Arnold hit his ass off.
Well, I mean, just for the record, that Texas team had to come back and double dip. I don't know who they beat, but they double dipped
Georgia.
Whoever was it, Georgia? Okay, they had to double dip Georgia, and they end up doing it. So let's put into perspective just who you guys beat. All right, so going, obviously this year you have the combination of the Major Plus players, and luckily you would have some education on what a Major Plus team looks like, having played now at least one tournament with JK and moving on to another one this weekend down in Texas, I believe is where you're going. So did you see a big difference between the teams that you saw last year and this year on the field?
Well, yeah, absolutely. You could definitely tell that it was a big difference. There was also, how do I say? I mean, it's just guys were hitting the ball a lot harder than last year. It was a who's who, as you mentioned, out there of Major Plus players. It was all respect for teammates, and giving each other a little bit of shit, right? But at the end of the day, patting your opponents on the butt and saying, "Hey, great hit, good job." I mean, just guys that you recognize from those other tournaments and whatnot. And it was super professional. Everybody out on the field was professional. There wasn't any shit talking or BS out there. It was all professional ball out there, and it was very great to see. I bet Arnold can probably agree to that. Do you have anybody talking shit to you at all, Arnold?
No, not really. I didn't have anybody talking crap to me. Just like in the heat of the moment in games and stuff like that. A couple of calls that we were arguing about and stuff like that. But other than that, they were pretty humble during and after the games and stuff.
Now, obviously, we're not going to have the whole team on as guests, so I can't get everybody in there. But just real quick, between the two of us, Arnold, we'll start with you, and then we'll go to Mickey. Is there anybody that you kind of wanted to point out and what they had done for the weekend from the 40s competitive team?
Yeah, I mean, the entire outfield, they played amazing. They got to a lot of balls. Mickey got to a shit ton of balls. Pat and Josh played amazing up the middle. Pat got to some balls that I was completely amazed at. He had one that was kind of funny. He threw. He was falling back trying to throw it, and his leg kicked up, and he hit himself in the toe. Otherwise, that would have been an out. Rowe playing second base did amazing. You guys all know Sammy too. Sammy is pretty much lights out at third base or wherever you put him. I mean, again, for the type of team that we had and not having as many conference players as some of these other teams, I thought we played pretty amazing.
How about you, Mick?
Kind of echoing what he said, but I honestly, I came on here to praise him.
Well, be the pitcher in me, you knew that was coming long before the program started. Yeah. It's going to be a pitcher heavy appreciation show tonight. I was.
The Josh Moores are going to deliver. Ron did well in the leadoff spot. Jimmy got on a bunch, walked a bunch of times, got on base for us. But at the end of the day, I mean, Arnold was the star of that team this weekend, and And like I said, I just wanted to come out here to praise him for the most part.
Well, and real quick, a quick shout out to that sweatshirt Arnold's wearing, Voodoo Vince, going literally as last minute as somebody could be asked, and Vince was able to go down and help out the program, get another body down there and another bat. So those guys, at least they had some bodies there to go into battle with. All right, last question for both of you. If it so happens, and I have no say in the matter, but if it so happens that you guys are asked again next year, would you go? And Arnold, I'll start with you.
Yeah, definitely. If I think I would do it again. Again, it was a great honor, even though it was last minute. It's still an honor. It's still amazing to be able to compete with the caliber players that are out there. And it's a humbling experience to just see how far and how hard some of these balls are hit. I mean, you just have to be on your A game every single time, every inning, every second of the game. And it was amazing. So in short, yes, I would love to do it again if asked.
And Mick, I think I already know your answer, but I'm going to let you talk for yourself.
I will always go if I am honored with that selection and to go down there and represent our state, man. There's nothing better.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody kind of now knows what Mickey's capable of on a softball field, but I think people now in the 40s major division really need to check Arnold's daughter's softball schedule and the team that he's coaching to see if he's off that particular weekend that you guys will be playing your senior tournament, because you need to worry about this dude now. That's a sad part, Arnold, is you can't slip under the radar anymore. I think everybody's going to be looking for you, and they should be. Just a gutsy, all-out, all-heart performance from you, from one pitcher to another. Again, now you're on that list I have of guys I'm jealous of that I'm trying to emulate. So welcome to the list that doesn't really matter, but guys that I kind of look up to and admire as pitchers in this game. So thank you for your almost sacrifice. I'm a secret fan of your daughter's softball team. I've tried to pitch it out with some of the fundraising stuff over last year. So I am a fan. I'm rooting for you, and I'm so happy that she got to see you down there playing against the absolute best that the 40 seniors had to offer. You were there, man, and you did it. Nobody can take that away from you. So, guys, again, tell Ernie I hope you feel better.
I appreciate you.
But don't get me sick, man. And guys, thank you for coming on the program. And again, more importantly, thank you for representing me and U-Trip senior softball down there in Florida.
Hey, thank you. It was a pleasure.
Thank you, boys. All right. Again, I mean, if you didn't get to see it, just take my word for it, or take somebody you actually trust word for it. Arnold literally stepped out on the mound. You heard it, a week's notice, and literally hung with the best pitchers in the game. All right. Hung with them. Yes, they wish they could have got a couple more hits, made a couple more plays, but I'm telling you, that comp team, the first game, I was like, they're hitting singles and doubles and playing small ball, and I thought they can beat anybody. And when they put 24 on Texas, who was a great team, I thought, man, we might have a shock the world situation here. We might. But those guys represented, man, and Ernie, I know you're sick, buddy, but we've talked about this. I've said it on the show too. You were my guy. I'm not. It doesn't mean anything bad about anybody else in 40 majors and well, we don't have major plus, but 40. Ernie was my guy through my years of playing and seeing what he did and his respect and the way guys talked to him and treated him. He was always my guy, and he. I didn't know that he could make me prouder, but the job that he had to do, he did. So Ernie, great job. We'll see what happens next year, man. I don't know what's going to happen, but you could do that every year as far as I'm concerned. We don't even need to change it. But that's not up to me anymore. I need to take a breath there, buddy.
Let's take a breather, bro. Yeah, I was gonna say that's a lot of fucking talking, bro. That's a lot of talking in a short window of time, which is great.
We've done this. Yeah, we've done this before and screwed up the time. So I'm literally in my head just going, "Let's keep it moving."
I love it. I'm going to give you as much credit as I possibly can, because that's it's difficult because you have so many things you want to talk about, and then the other thing is it's hard to just be an interviewer in this situation because you kind of want to be a fan too, because you're excited, and then in your case it's worse because you have some investment in the successes or failures thereof of the Challenge Cup from this year. So I'm super proud. That's why I'm just kind of chilling back. I know a lot of people mentioned that, there are times where it's not necessary for me to say a whole lot, and this is one of those shows. That's why I'm just kind of doing, running the boards and everything and playing possum with the fucking chat. Nonetheless,
I saw that.
Yeah,
I saw.
Nonetheless,
that.
let's take a breather for a moment, and then we're gonna jump right into the 40s rec team, men's.
Well,
40s
then we
rec
can we give a quick shout out to Blue Pill Mafia. Without their coach and their heart, because Ernie coaching the 40s competitive team, Mike Callis playing on the 50s competitive team, went out and won the NCS tournament last weekend while some guys were down in Florida. So I wanted to give them a quick shout out. Made a run of it. Also, I think second place, Barachos 2.0 got second place. Rich Martin would like to tell you it's his fault, but I think everybody probably contributed to that.
Obviously, I'm not quite sure who it is. I'm having a little trouble following in Facebook right now because Facebook's a little weird. And obviously because we've started to expand, so we actually share we've been able to share the show in a lot more forums. So because of the weird way that Facebook is, if you don't go to glueguysprogram.com/show my name, we can't see it when we're here in the show. I usually dance back and forth between, the actual control panel and trying to do this other thing in Facebook. The other weird thing about it is if you're following the show or you're watching the show in a different group, you have to do it again. And it's a real pain in the ass. We understand that. We apologize. So that's why a lot of the time we say we can't see who you are. We're not trying to be dicks. We're not trying to be funny. We really can't see who you are.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Mickey,
anyway,
that was Mickey, and he was answering earlier when somebody asked why he was still in uniform.
Yeah,
I like the joke,
funny.
but
I like the joke. I thought it was funny. I mean, I knew, it was perfect timing to wear the jersey, though.
Well, perfect person too, because if there was anybody who was that invested and that passionate about it, it is Mickey. So we can make the joke he's sleeping in his uniform, but I dare you to try to give me somebody who cares more or plays harder to rep the jersey.
Right. It might be a little, it might be some lightweight Homer shit, but he won't say it, but I'll say it. I mean, I still remember so many people that were talking shit about him and his performances without seeing him play. First of all, associating his opportunities with, sponsorships and this and that. So it's really, really, really exciting for me to be able to see him continue to go out and show, the player he is and the person he is. So, I mean, and I know a lot of people were giving, Arnold hella credit, which he fucking deserves. I mean, shout out that man again. But, for me, at least personally, I love the fact that Mickey's going out there and really demonstrating, the player he is and getting the credit that he deserves, past all that stupid shit. So, hey, let's not burn up too much more time because we definitely don't want this to be a 2-hour show, but we do want to get to the 40s rec team.
Yeah, we have our rec boys on.
We got these two gentlemen here. I'm going to bring them on right now. I am unmuting them and bringing them on. So we have Sal and Cooley. I know it's unorthodox to refer to someone by last name, but it's so much easier when it comes to Cooley,
get it right. It's not just Sal. It's showtime, Sal.
Wait, you didn't say it right. Say it again like you mean it.
Showtime, Sal.
All right, I'll let you slide on that one, but next time we're gonna get. I don't know. It just wasn't enough force in there. You know me. I'm the bass guy.
I gotta get it right.
I'm the vocal guy, so I need. I need to give it to me. Come on, give it.
Let me get it right. Let me get it right. It might have been a little too WWF there.
Yeah. We need it out there. Come on.
The reigning. Defending. No, I'm not going to go there.
Nah,
How about we?
That's a mic change right there. A mic change would have brought you in there. It'd have been like the rating, something like that.
All right, let's get this over. I'm wasting their time.
Let's get going.
Get this over. All right, let's go. Let's go more like the intro of the show. Right, you ready?
Yes, sir.
Showtime, Sal.
Wow.
Hey, what's up? How y'all
not doing it?
All right, no, that was good.
Wow.
But I was interrupted with that line.
I saw it.
That's tough.
All right, so anyway, let's knock the comedy off. Joining us graciously, guys, we appreciate your time. Mr. Cooley, Mr. Sal, you guys played 40's rec team. Again, I'm saying it to everybody, so you're here. Appreciate you even going down and representing. I know that a lot of guys had some sacrifice monetarily or time-wise, family-wise. You guys took the pledge, basically. Repped Arizona. I'm going to get this out of the way now. Obviously, I'm not going to act like nothing happened We had some stuff happen down there. I don't want to focus on it. I don't want to talk about it because of guys just like you two, and that's why I was happy that the both of you were able to join the program, okay? Everybody likes to talk about, well, this guy and Buddy Ball and that, and they refuse to acknowledge that guys just don't go, okay? What I want to acknowledge is, whether people agreed with it or not, you are two of the guys, no matter how you got there, were the right guys to go with how you played and how you represented. So kind of getting past the stuff that I don't want to focus on the negativity because the guys who did what they did. Let's find out kind of about your overall experience down there. Sal, we'll start with you. Kind of what I think it's your first Challenge Cup. So what did you see? What did you expect versus what did you actually happen? Was there anything that kind of caught you off guard?
I mean, first and foremost, I want to congratulate, the 50s for what they did out there, the majors, and then even the ladies that came out. We were all supportive of each other. We were supporting each other. So that was an awesome thing right there. So, I mean, coming to the Challenge Cup, it was an honor. The talent out there was ridiculous. So it's pretty much some of the best. And it's just, it was cool to see that. Just the way different people play. We got shit a lot for using the net.
Nothing wrong with that.
Some people use it, some people don't. We use it a couple times, and it was interesting. Some people, that's all they do is use a net. I remember in Texas, when I went up with the pavers, it literally kind of took a while for us to kind of be like, hey, what is this? We didn't know the rules. So, I mean,
right.
It's one of those things where I guess you can say you have to be on your game at all times. If you don't hit, if you're not fielding, it's going to show. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're definitely going to talk about the net when we get to the 50s because, I had a couple conversations with some of those guys there, and they absolutely tried to use it as strategy, and it works. So we'll get into that later. But I agree 100%. You got to take advantage of everything that's available to you when you're down there, even if you don't use it while you're here because some idiot director doesn't like the net. Moving on, Cooley, obviously, I mean, picked a little later in the process, but man, if you weren't one of the more consistent guys I saw while watching the feeds, how were you able kind of to lock in down there and just get it done with all that stuff going on around you, the different talent, the different teams, different kind of fields, the net, if that happened, all the different things that you're not used to seeing here. How were you able to lock in, sir? Oh, are you muted?
You're not coming through, my dude.
No, we're getting no audio, my friend.
Muted.
Yeah, you're not muted on the system. Your audio is not coming through. No, we don't go.
Crap.
No, we're not getting your audio right now. Now he just muted himself. So
he's checking something there. Well, hopefully we'll get back to him. So nothing yet. When you pop through, Cooley, I'll come back. Sal, we'll keep talking till Matt figures that out.
No way.
So now, would you say there was a big difference between the pitching you're used to seeing here in our local tourneys versus the guys you saw when you were down there?
Honestly, I honestly think our pitching that we have, in state was a lot better pitching compared to what we saw out there. I mean, I will say this: Cheeseburger on our team, he was hitting out of his mind. When you have the other teams coming up to him and just going, dude, we couldn't get you out. I was expecting him to give autographs or something, just how they were coming up to him. Florida. I was like, damn,
that's dope. Shout out to Cheese. That's dope.
Yeah,
that's dope.
Wow.
Leland tore it up. It's one of those things where I honestly think the pitching that we see tournament, every tournament in and out, it was way better than what we were seeing out there.
Yeah, I said this to you in DM, so I'm not gonna say something to you in DMs I ain't gonna say on the show. So I said this to Sal Cheese, so don't, I'm being straight up here. That's the ugliest walk the box swing I've ever seen for somebody to have so much success. Like I can't explain it with science. Like it defies gravity. Like I cannot explain it. I can't wrap my head around it. That ugly, and he just produces. All right, I think we have fixed our audio issue.
We did.
You want to answer kind of the question from before?
Yep. No, I was at it about a month out. I was in Mexico at a wedding. It was pretty cool. I was out there just drunk off my ass, and I get a message from Reggie like, "Hey, dude, we need an outfielder. You ready to come?" Like that was, either it was the alcohol in me or it was just the fact that I was really excited to represent the state of Arizona, or both, but just jumped in there and it was pretty sick. But to answer your question, to get in there and lock in, really, man, it just keep it simple, lock it down, keep it simple, try and clear the mind, right? You had some really cool people, and you guys were talking about Berger, who just absolutely smashed. I believe he hit like 800 for the tournament and just played a lockdown first. But Berger just walks up, he grabs you on the shoulder, he gives you that look that he's about to kick you square in the nuts, and he's just like, lock it up, just follow through the ball, you're gonna hit that ball somewhere. And it really came up to just the team believing in you, and just really going out there and dumbing it down and just try and clear them out and chew some gum, drink a little beer, and you can go out there and ball out. It was fun. It was really cool.
Yeah, and I saw that comment, and I can't even make fun of it because it's kind of true that Cooley does look like a younger, better-looking me. I got nothing. Guys, we always hear about the humidity in Florida. I played in Florida back when I was east. We hear about the difference in the humidity. I heard it was hot. I didn't hear much about the humidity, but I wanted to ask you guys, the difference in weather, do you think it was a factor? Cooley, we'll start with you, sir.
So last year's Challenge Cup called me up when I told them I was going, and they said, dress warm. It's going to be 40 degrees and windy, and it's going to be miserable. And, when we got there, it was record highs of like 91, 92 with 70% humidity. And, day one, we were kind of rotating outfielders. Sal was out there running the outfield with me, left center, right center, having a good time. And, dude, it was brutal. You couldn't breathe, like the heat coming off the turf, and you'd run down a fly ball, even jog behind Sal as he's, making a good catch over there. And you just couldn't breathe. Sal almost had a heart attack out there. Like it was nasty. You could cut it with a knife. You would hit the ball. It wouldn't go anywhere. It was a different experience in the humidity versus here in Arizona where it's a dry heat, right? Like super different.
Well, geez, Sal, now that's where I got to take the question. So was it a medical emergency or not?
So luckily we have a nurse on the team, Fritz. So after the second game, I'm playing outfield. First ball that's hit, of course, running toward it. J. Will gets it, and I just literally my heart feels like it's coming out of my chest. It's beating fast. I think the heat just was getting to me. So of course, as soon as I'd get in, drink water, go up to bat, hit, go right back into the dugout, and of course, Fritz is checking my pulse, and he's like, "Do you have heart problem? I'm like, "No, dude. Like he was like, it's not normal." So of course, it got to the point where, like, you could just see it just
that's crazy.
And it just got to the point where I was about to take myself out, and it kind of went down after we kind of got used to it, and granted, we barely lost that game, that second game, but. It was pretty good though. I mean, that heat. It's I'm from Texas. I'm from South Texas, so I'm used to the heat.
It's different though. It's different,
just,
man.
Yeah. Just the breathing. It's like you're like a cotton ball is in front of you, and you're just trying to breathe through it.
Yeah, I've tried to explain humidity back east to people. And Florida is even worse than what I had up in kind of New Jersey, Pennsylvania. It's like taking a blanket, the heaviest blanket you own. Okay, soak it in water, and then go out in 110, but the blanket is always soaked, and you can't get it off of you. That's what humidity feels like.
Exactly.
It's just different. Like Texas is different than Arizona, is different than Florida. It all has its own special hell to present to you when you play in it. That's true. Last year it was a shit show with everybody went expecting what you guys got this year, and it was cold and windy and yeah. And now we get 90s, of course. So we'll advise everyone next year, just pack 2 suitcases, one for winter, one for summer. And we don't know what
long as the sanction's paying for that extra bag, right?
Shit. I don't know. I ain't got nothing to say. I got nothing to say about that anymore. Remember?
Right. I mean, you do have something to say about it. Now you can actually say the fact that they ought to run up a little bread for these guys to do all this shit. I mean, I know we got some time before we get to that point in this conversation.
I'm not going to oblige to that.
Yeah, I was just saying, what you gonna argue? Be like, nah, don't pay for it. Nah, I'm good. No, we're not doing that.
They want to throw in some stuff here and there. I'm down for it.
Right. I will say that the thing that I've suggested on a national level already for next year is that we really got to try to work at getting a prize package that entices the best guys or guys who are asked to want to go. Because a lot of guys are dropping without good reason. Now, look, this year Arizona lucked out immensely with the guys that were able to go because all the teams that went, the 3 men's and the 1 women's, everybody represented, man. And the right guys went. I'll leave it at that. So we're hoping to get a better prize pack to make it a little more worth your while. But we'll this is on the planning stages.
We'll definitely touch that after because that's go back to the interview here because we don't want to burn too much of their time on other shit. You know?
Vic, that was Marlos, not me. Moving on, so guys,
it definitely was. I will put my address up here in a second. Like,
yeah. Try your phone number. Let's see how that works out. And so, all right, real quick, guys. Obviously, we haven't mentioned everybody. I want to give you guys an opportunity to kind of point out anyone else that maybe we didn't hear about yet or talk about. Is there anybody kind of wanted to point something out from the weekend? Other players. Sal, we'll start with you, pal.
I mean, the 2 main ones were, of course, Cheeseburger and Leland. They literally showed out. Dorn at second base, no errors. He was locking it down at second. Our pitchers, all 3 pitchers literally went out there, and we held a lot of those. The Tennessee team that ended up winning it. If our sticks would end up coming, we had them beat. It's just they did a hell of a job. So I mean, Denny, Gilbert, and Chore, they did their thing on the mound. I don't know how many strikeouts they had. It was just funny.
I saw Denny had 5 in the game you guys won. I think he had 5. It might have been 6, but I counted 5 watching it.
Yeah, it was good though.
All right, Maddie. What about you, Maddie?
I really want to echo, really what Showtime here said, and it's, Leland out there. I think he gave himself a hernia with the amount of ooze he gave those final 2 games. He was just smashing the ball. I think, game 3, his last game, he was 3 for 3, 2 jacks, right? Like, he just came out, showed up, represented well. Berger out there, if you rewatch one of the videos right at the end, he almost got, he took some dude out and almost got in a fight, and the whole team. It was great. He was ready to play 2 different ways, not just, he was out there balling out. It was a great time for them. And also, just like he said, pitchers, Chore just tore it up on the mound. Gil had some great games, and Denny came in the game we won, right? He hadn't pitched because of his back issues and came in and just straight up dominated. We won that game. We played well. And also, I really want to give a shout out to Reggie, and that job's not easy. It's a tough job. Coming in late. I really want to just give a shout out to really, like, you want to say everybody, but really Reggie came out there, and he had to make some tough decisions. And
he had an impossible job.
He has an impossible job that I do not envy that job at all.
And a thankless job at that.
Yeah, it's thankless.
It's a thankless job, yeah.
The minute you say I'll do it, it's a lose-lose, and that goes for everybody.
So that means straight up. You're coaching next year?
No.
Coach,
hold on.
Player.
I saw the campaign letter. Don't trip. He's gonna tell you no now, but I saw the letter. He's got posters and shit. All that.
He already has the stationery.
He had me do a for his campaign to be the coach. All that shit, bro.
Mark's I know a guy who knows a guy. I'll get you.
Let's just put it out.
Are you gonna be a player coach?
Come
Mark?
on. No, let. You better mute me now, man. It's getting close.
Yes, sir.
Listen, I hope that if I show up at the airport with my bag to go, that somebody just tackles me and steals it, and we'll just leave it at that. I got no business going down there as a player. No business. Maybe a coach. I barely got business being a coach going down, let alone no player crap. So let's hope it doesn't come to that. I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
I did. That never stopped some people.
I don't know, man. You got to watch out, dude. The devil was just, man. You got to watch out for that.
I'm trying
devil.
to tell you. Keep my Jesus sandals on deck, fool.
The devil's trying to break me down.
Oh man,
That's my fault.
I got my
This is
guitar here.
fault.
If we need to bust
My
it out
bad,
right now,
guys.
peace,
Bro, don't
peace.
you, what are you talking about?
Wait, peace. I mean,
Yeah, what do we need? Oh, my
Hey,
bad. My bad.
look here, bro. What we gonna do here, bro? We will get us a peaceful
my
gospel song going. Don't trip.
Yo, you're just lucky my basses are downstairs because I usually got them all sitting right here. Anyway,
We'll have
guys.
a battle of the bands, and it'll get picked by a coin toss.
Yeah.
Straight up. Boom.
Boom. Drop it.
All right,
Man.
listen. I'll make jokes and shit, but ain't nobody beat me on the bass. All right, I'm just putting it.
Nah, not at all. I'll give
That's
you
the only
that
thing
one.
I'm cocky
Got that.
about. It ain't
Got
happening.
that.
It ain't happening.
Run it up.
Anyway, let's ask the question, boys. We'll help whoever's coach next year out. We'll get a jump start on it. Sal. Damn it, he caught it. Damn it, he caught it. All right, Sal. Sal, if you're asked next year, Sal, are you going, sir?
Oh, in a heartbeat. I'll go in a heartbeat.
I'm gonna let you pass on the Astros hat since I wore the Phillies.
Oh,
one.
you didn't see the
have
shirt.
that.
You didn't see
You
the
can
shirt.
have, I don't need to see the shirt. I don't need to see it.
There. In Houston,
all right.
we smoke Phillies.
All right, Mattress Mac. Okay.
Oh boy.
Okay, Mattress
Oh
Mac.
boy.
That's great.
That's 2 L's in a whole damn thing.
Hold on, where's my trash? Hold on, let me start my trash can. Oh, you hear my trash can over there? That's a curveball.
Man.
All right, moving on. Cooley, if asked next year, buddy, I think, again, just like Mickey, I think I know your answer, but go ahead and tell us.
Without a doubt, and I'll bring Medina in my backpack. He can get the kid's seat right on my lap. You know, on the plane. Like, it will be a great time. I would.
Don't take shots at the little guys, bro. That's fucked up,
Hey,
bro.
we have to. Other teams
There's a
has
height
ID
limit
check
to
him.
there's a height limit to shots because you taking them shots and they flying right by. Because that's my guy, though. He knows it. He knows it. I'm gonna fuck around and see him. He's gonna bring it up. I'm gonna be like, yeah, but I can't see you to talk shit.
Oh. One of the games, they actually asked to ID check him. Let's just say he got up the bat and they said, you need to check that dude's ID. And they thought his son was like actually the 40-year-old out there for him. So. But no, to answer your question, no, I would be on it in a heartbeat. I would love to. I love represent the state. You know, love all the people out there. So it would be fun.
Well, guys, listen, first and foremost, thank you for taking over the show there. It's always nice when Morris and I could just sit back and laugh and enjoy the comedy here. Definitely appreciate that. I could use the break and the laugh with the weekend I had. You know, apparently I was a little too serious. I gotta work on that. Anyway, listen, again.
I mean, what can you do you got to do what you got to do for content. You know what I mean? I told you, bro. I'm petty as a motherfucker.
I'm just gonna stare at the camera for now.
I got shots all day, bro. I got
nothing.
unlimited clip, donut, fucking cinnamon roll lined up for this shit whole night.
You guys thought I was the savage. Boy, were you fucking wrong.
I mean, you know,
Marlos, I missed you Monday at BP.
Hey, that's real, dude. That's real. That's real, dude. That's real. I'm gonna be there Thursday though. I'm gonna be there Thursday because I've been fighting the 12-year-olds at Peoria to get a couple cuts here. I got to get my time squared away. I'll tell you, dude. You want to talk about? Listen, they make that joke about how long would you rather fight one alligator or 100 12-year-olds? I'll take the alligator, dog. These 12-year-olds are savages over there. In a heartbeat. That's real.
I want to find out which teams they are so I can go out when they play.
They had a 14-foot gator over there.
Bro, I want to find out when these 12-year-olds or 11-year-old teams play and go out to Rio or whatever and heckle them like they heckle these kids in these cages, bro. I know it's petty as shit, but these kids need to learn a lesson. Anyway, I mean, and I deserve to be. I wasn't even swinging. That's the thing. Like, you want to heckle me for my swing, that's fine, but I wasn't even in the cage yet. Like, what do these kids know? Moving on. Nope, not doing a chat. Nice try, though. Guys,
right?
okay.
Nobody, because I got thrown out at home.
Yo.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna go there, but
God damn.
Look, Cooley.
I just read that. Ouch. Oh, damn. You were yelling, who the fuck is coaching for? Oh, savage. Savage.
That's why I was like,
I can't see.
Yeah, Mark's done for the day at this point.
Like, yo, let Cooley host the show, bro. I told you.
Oh man, you're not getting blessings after that. That's for fucking sure,
bro.
Bro. That's not blessings.
I can't beat that. Like, let him host the rest of the show. I can't be that funny.
That's it. That is it.
Savage, bro.
That's one of the things I say about that team is there were some personalities. These are funny. There were some funny dudes on that team.
Wow. I mean, I gotta admit, I was watching the live feed. Like, I know Cooley's fast, but Jesus, he's not Bo Jackson out there. Kind of curious about. Anyway, guys. On a serious note, obviously, last thing that's got my name on it as far as directoring and whatnot, and I've told you guys in private. I'll tell you in public now. I couldn't be prouder of the way you guys went down there and played, and tried to work through all the bullshit, and just tried to go on the field and make it happen. You know, I know Cheeseburger was out there trying to carry. Sal, I saw you doing a couple times. Cooley, obviously, you guys literally, and of course Leland too, tried to put the team on
And
your
JB
back.
JB hit like
JB, I'm sorry. I'm going to miss other people too. So please, no one personally get offended because I didn't say your name, please. I'm proud of everybody. All right, almost everybody. Really, at different times, one of you guys tried to put the team literally on your back and carry it. All right, and that's Chore and Denny, and you know, I saw it, and I appreciate it. I know I'm not finding the right words right now, but with everything that happened, it meant something to me that you guys still tried to make that shit happen for Arizona to represent. So thank you. Thank you.
So much love.
Thank you for allowing me to represent.
Appreciate it.
All right, and please keep commenting on the shows. You guys are fucking hilarious. Don't go nowhere. We'll have you back on for a much better conversation.
Oh,
we'll
man.
look forward to playing against you this weekend.
I'll be out there with a big orange. I'll be out there with a big orange target on my head, Sal. I wanted to put it out so everybody could get a preview.
All right.
You won't be able to miss
me. The first one to get snapped off if it happens.
The glove has been hot gloved. I'm ready, bro. I ain't breaking my hand this time.
Man.
All right, boys. Appreciate you joining the show. I'll see you out there at Fountain Hills this weekend, sir.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Joe.
All right, that would wow. All right, now I gotta breathe before I talk. Holy shit.
Yeah, I think we got a couple minutes because the 50s gentlemen are been kind of in and out. So I think they're not necessarily. I don't think it's necessarily a technical problem. They may have popped in and not realized that they could just sit in the lobby because that's kind of what they were doing. They like come in and be like, and then dip. So hopefully they'll see we're really at a point here soon that we want to have them on because I think someone else said it, but they may have said it different than I'm saying it. Yeah, the 50s we kind of held them to last because they're kind of the big story of the Challenge Cup. Not to take away from a single other team or player that went. Again, I know Mark, you've said it a couple times, but I know for me individually, it's been kind of funny to watch some people melt down over this event. No, sir, I'm not seeing you in the lobby. But I would suggest just join back in. Because you had popped in and then popped out and then it just never showed back up. Your video didn't show, so I figured you might have been working on it. I had sent Mark a message saying as much. But yeah, it's crazy to see how many people had a meltdown in relation to the Challenge Cup. The ones that had meltdowns before before the picks were made, the ones that had meltdowns once the picks were made, the ones that had meltdowns after they got there. Yeah, it's too late for the 50s. They sleep and they should have been first. You're right. I don't know why we didn't think it that way. But yeah, it's a gratifying feeling to see players that we know and people that we know go out there. McDill just joined. See people that we
Willie
know go
said,
out there and show out. Yeah,
Willie texted me. He said it's a little choppy where he's at. Will, just join in.
Yeah,
even if your internet's kind of choppy, it should be a little better once you kind of get into the flow of this app that we have through the.
Even if it's audio only, a lot of the time being audio only, because I can turn off the video for you. So even if you do that, it might work a little better for you. But yeah, it's really dope to see some of those guys go out there and show out and really represent. Man, it's exciting. I don't know how anybody who's a member of this community could come away from this event and the first thing out of their mouth is something negative. I don't understand that at all. I can't respect that. Too many people did too much. Too many people were playing their hearts out, playing their lives out. At the end of the day, somebody has to come up short no matter what. So that's never going to be something that should be held against them, the coaches or otherwise. It's a fantastic experience, and it's great to be able to say that these are the guys and girls that represented us at the Challenge Cup in AZ for seniors. It's fucking dope. So again, shout out to you guys from me. Can't wait for this next piece. This is fucking dope.
I gotta echo your sentiments. I mean, it literally seemed like certain people were literally waiting.
Yeah, waiting for failure.
The minute they lost.
Yeah.
to get on the internet and start, armchair quit. And it's disappointing
And that's not
because,
a good look.
to bring attention to yourself while, number one, the 50s team is still playing at that point. A couple people jumped onto Facebook and started dropping their opinions like they were facts, okay, and it literally shit all over what the 50s were currently at that moment trying to do. So that was disheartening and literally infuriated me. But
Especially
again,
because I will also add, though, that the other thing about that was, not only was the 50s team having an incredible fucking run, and I mean, at the end of the day, and this is going to sound, somewhat symbolic, but these dudes are having this incredible run with this big ass fucking Arizona across their chest, and we're worrying about some dumb shit that doesn't really matter. And I don't, I cannot even begin to demonstrate how disrespectful that is to those players, as well as the other players on the other teams that were, that maybe even if they were finished at that point, that's a lot of work, and it should be applauded even for them to go and just demonstrate what they're able to do. Whether you thought they should be there or not doesn't fucking matter. Again, other people are other ways. And other people were raised different. I wasn't raised that way. I don't understand. I don't understand that shit at all. I want to congratulate every motherfucker on the show. I'll even say the one thing before, because I think Kev just dropped off, and that's all fault. Yeah, we saw you in the lobby, but you left. But I know why. I will say this so everybody can hear it. I know Mark knows it because we talked about it. I really wanted to run out and put together like a prize pack of some sort for literally every fucking player on every fucking team, including the coaches, just as an appreciation, from the Glue Guys, from me individually, from Mark, unrelated to the sanction or any of this other stupid shit that people start set banging about, but just to demonstrate that, that we appreciate what you guys did and that we're proud of how you performed and what you did. I can't say that we're not going to still do it. It was just really difficult for us to try to put all that together in such a short window of time. So again, shout out to you guys. I'm gonna get Kev on here real quick because goddamn, I keep seeing him dropping shit, and I think it's on us.
Yeah, get it in. But Willie's trying. He said it might be weather related, so Kevin's gonna have to hold everything up until hopefully we can get Willie in there.
Understood. He's going audio. I mean, he's primarily audio only, so we won't worry about. Don't worry about it being a black screen.
All right, it's probably it's probably not a good idea to put the camera on in the hot tub.
That's what I'm saying. I think that shit just exudes. We just went out here and whooped a bunch of motherfuckers' asses this weekend. I love it.
Well, here's the guy. So let me say this before we get started. We had a bet on the Eagles 49ers NFC Championship game where one of us was going to wear the other one's jersey depending on who won. Now, obviously, the Eagles won, and Kevin owed me an appearance on the show with an Eagles jersey. Due to his performance in Florida, I am waiving that bet. I am waiving that. He does not currently owe me that anymore. Next year, we'll worry about next year. But right now, he is free from wearing any kind of Eagles paraphernalia to satisfy the bet. It is lifted. But I'm happy he's able to be here. There's Willie. I'm happy Kevin's able to be here because he was not happy with his performance last year. He got a chance to go again this year and definitely played better this year. Gentlemen, again, we got Willie in here now. Awesome. Listen, first of all, thank you for coming on the program. In case no one heard, and I only posted about 75 times, 50's competitive second place finish from the losers bracket in 90-degree, 75% humidity on Sunday. Made my USA Live $10 worth much more to me on Sunday. And I'll tell you a quick story I've told a couple of the other guys. I was so invested. Willie, keep trying, buddy. He said it might be weather, too. Oh, my God. The camera
all
now.
Good.
I was so invested in the game. I was texting with a few other guys as we were watching it, playing armchair quarterback as if, we were watching like a professional game. Like, well, why John should be pitching or why is Carlos not doing this? And why don't they do in this batting order? And it had nothing really, there was nothing substance to it. It was because I was so into the game and what was happening. And we're going back with a few players. I've never been more invested in a softball game I wasn't attending or playing in. I never in my entire life. And my neighbors think I was having a heart attack with different things that happened during the games. McDill, you made that catch, and I let one out, and my neighbor, knocked on the door to make sure I was okay. She thought I was having a heart attack. So, many, many great moments. There was the one where the ump missed the pitch literally hitting the mat to end the friggin' inning. Okay, and then the team went on to get 5, and I'm watching Callis saying out loud, like, Mike, don't get booted. Mike, don't get booted. Because I'm invested. He wasn't going to get booted. He knows better. But because being so invested, you suspend disbelief in a certain regard, you know. So you guys, just an incredible goddamn run. And folks, what you don't know behind the scenes, all right, there were some challenges with this team this year. This was the one team I stepped in and made a change because I thought that's what needed to get done. I'm not going to mention any names. I'm not going to say reasons. It just had to be done. That's what I felt. Right, wrong, or indifferent. That's how I felt at the time. So you have to give Willie even more credit because he literally came in November, end of October, November. And I said, hey, here's a big mess. Please fix it. And he did.
Hey, imagine what he do with a full camp.
And that's right. Exactly.
Right.
And just, you know, took it over, had some help. Everybody kind of pitched in where they could. And we got that team down there with the right guys, obviously. Amazing to watch a group of individuals literally become a team before your very eyes. And with the 50s, guys are a little more familiar with each other because they play each other more with less teams. But, man, a lot of those guys hadn't played together before. So to see all those guys come together, it was amazing. Obviously, Willie had something to do with that. But, Kev, what else did you see down there to bring you guys together like that to make that ridiculous run Sunday?
Well, it's funny you say that because Chris Hortline brought it up on.
Uh-oh.
Come on.
Signal right. Playing games with us.
There we go.
Now we're back. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Now you're back. Oh, and the audio went out.
Jesus Christ. You guys.
No, now it's back.
You're good. You're good. Mark, you got to chill. Go ahead.
I'm not talking shit. Shut up. Go ahead. Shut up, Mark. Okay. So Hortline brought up a good point. We played that tournament before we went to Florida. And then we played our pool games and we didn't really click. Well, all of a sudden we clicked. And, and before the game, Hortline said, we're 1-0 as a team. Right? Because we finally clicked as a team. And then we just went on that tear. And next thing you know, he's going, we're 4-0 as a team. I don't know what made it click, but all of a sudden everybody was just firing on all cylinders. I mean, nothing was different in the sense that we all were pumping each other up. We were all keeping each other, positive and picking each other up all the time. So I don't know what clicked, man, but it just did. And we just started smashing.
Well, again, fun as hell to watch.
Super dope.
Fun as hell to watch. Everybody relax. I see everybody's kind of naming off their player in the chat. I'll get to the guy. Everybody relax. I watch the games too. All right? A lot of names that need to be mentioned, okay? Obviously, Ship got himself a medal too. Played his ass off. I mean, that's Shipley. We all expect that kind of thing, Chris Hortline was a beast in the box this weekend. A beast. He was. And Callis played. I sent him a text. I forget if it was the Illinois game or the third place game, but I literally sent him a text and go, I see you trying to be Mark Grace out there. Made a couple amazing plays playing first. And Mike, people don't give him enough credit for his glove. Obviously, Mike House can kill the goddamn softball, but he never gets enough credit for his glove, and he showed that. A lot of guys, actually. I shouldn't just, everybody had a role to play, man. And of course, Johnny K, all right, above reproach. And let's not forget, Carlos Martinez using the net to its full potential. All right, they played these bashers from New Jersey. Trust me, I know. I played with some of those guys growing up, and I know their mentality hasn't changed now that they're 50. And my God, if the thing didn't work to perfection, especially in the open inning, guys, the last two outs hit the net. It worked to perfection. And for the way Carlos pitches, man, coming in and closing.
I'm glad you said that. I was just about to say that. I was just about to say that too. Yeah.
So now maybe we can get these other guys in chat to calm down so we actually talk to McDill here.
Yeah, just ignore them. Just move along. You can hit that button that moves the chat out of the way, and you don't even have to function or worry about it. I got them. They good.
All right, so let's get into last year versus this year, pal. Obviously, you and I have had conversations. You were not a happy camper, and I remember you saying to me last year, if I get another shot, I am not doing that again. So talk to me about last year and the difference with this year.
Well, I don't even know how to put it into words, really. I mean, last year, I'll be totally honest with you guys. I mean, I've been playing serious tournament ball for about 5 years, 6 years, right? And I'm playing with these guys that have been playing for 25 years. You know, Hall of Famers, guys with their own bats. It's a little intimidating, I'm not going to lie. So last year, I was on a roll leading up to that, and then I just came out cold in the pool games, and I got sad, and it's nobody's fault but my own, right? This year, you know, like you said, I'm like, if I get another chance, I ain't fucking it up again. And it's pool play started. I sucked again, but luckily Willie, my man, kept me in there and gave me a chance. I think it might have been because we were out of outfielders, but you know, whatever the case may be, I did make an out Saturday. I did make an out, I think, for the first, I think the fourth game in bracket play might have been when I made my first out. You know, and it just, everything felt good. The confidence was high. The confidence on defense was incredible. I felt so good out there. My body is so beat up, but I haven't felt as good as that in years. My lower back, both my knees, both my shoulders. I had a cortisone shot 2 days before I went. I had an MRI scheduled for my back the day I got back, but nothing bothered me. It was crazy. I didn't even get tired. It was weird. It was really weird. I mean, I wish I didn't shit the bed in the championship game and go over 3, but you know, what are you gonna do?
Listen, I tried it. You know, Florida's different, man. You know, and you guys went up, 5 games. Let's not, it's not like you just woke up and went out there and that happened. You played
Something
5
funny
games
about
before that.
Something funny about the 5-game thing. You know, it was late in the day, and me and Ship were next to each other, and he's like, "Man, I'm exhausted. I'm really fatigued." And I'm like, "All right, kind of keep an eye on you." And and like I said, I felt fine, but we're at lunch after the whole thing was over, and I looked at he was sitting across from me, and I go, "Man, would we play like 3 games today?" He's like, "Dude, we played 5." I'm like, Jesus, no wonder I'm so tired.
Wow. Well, let's get Willie real quick before the storm or something knocks him back out. Willie, again, I've told you in text, you stepped in late, and I couldn't be happier with the job you did, or prouder, and I really appreciate you making the sacrifice to make this work. Buddy, impressive as all hell, taking this squad a ragtag misfits and making them a fine-tuned machine come Sunday. Talk to me a little bit about kind of me dumping this pile of crap on you back in October, and the process getting there to Sunday there in stadium and playing for the ship there for the Challenge Cup, sir.
Well, after you talked to me, as you know, I thought about it for a few days, and I decided to accept the job. And, I thought that guys, needed an opportunity to go who didn't get to go last year, and along with the guys that did go. And my man, Dilly right there, he needed an opportunity to redeem himself. But, I know what kind of guy he is. He usually, smashes the ball. He hustles all the time. And, those are the kind of guys you need. And, he was one of the guys I selected. And I based that on largely on what we needed to win. Let's see. After I, reached out to everyone about, would they go, could they go, and the dates and all the things involved. I'd like to say that, most guys were eager to go and willing to do whatever we needed to be done, which has made the job, a lot easier than it could have been. I think that, I like to acknowledge some guys that really made it easy, like Cortland. He helped with the uniforms and coordinating travel for some of the guys. See who else. Gosh. But I'll put it like this: everyone chipped in at some level. Carlos and Mike Kalis helped a lot with strategy. What we're going to do in this situation. Just to bounce some ideas off what we're going to do.
I will tell you this, William, talking to some of the players, and obviously I was excited, so I was having conversations. But the thing that I kept hearing from multiple guys was that you were not afraid to make changes. You were not afraid to adjust. You were not afraid to try things. And everyone complimented you to the highest regard in that. that you went with what you trusted your gut. You'd make a change and go with it, and the whole team respected you for that and followed it due to how you handled that. So I wanted to definitely give you your credit on that, because I don't think you're going to give it to yourself. That's not who you are. So let me be the guy to do that. Chat, I know what you're trying to do, and we're not gonna talk about that at bat. We're not going to bring that up because
I thought you wasn't paying attention to the chat. Hold on, bro. I thought you wasn't paying attention to the chat.
I never said I wouldn't pay attention.
I
never said that.
That's the reason why I didn't put it up there. That's why I didn't put it up there. I never said
I wouldn't. Yeah, but I never said I wouldn't.
You were like, yeah, chat's bothering you. Get off. No, we ain't worried about the chat right now. Especially that comment. Hey, they've said it 3 times, and that's why I've ignored it each time.
And you cut me before I finished the other side of it.
Yes,
which was going to be, they were sitting at home watching while my man was in stadium at Space Coast, so it don't really matter now, does it?
But then you just gave credit to the comment. By bringing up the statement that's being made, you gave credit to the comment. That's why I ignored the comment.
I'm
not
you ruined it.
I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to give it to
you. Hey, Willie wasn't alone there. Willie wasn't alone in that.
No. Who's not looking at the chat now?
And you know what?
I am looking at the chat. That's the point. That's why I didn't say anything about it. So then you go and put almost all of the comment, and then why the fuck we don't put it up there? So that's why I went ahead and put it up there. You're like, yeah, well, he was in the stadium. You were, well, shit. Let's just put it on the fuck up there. I just didn't want to interrupt the man from detailing how he was able to salvage a situation that may not have been ideal. That you could even say he took with trepidation. Roll it on again. Yeah. Man, I might even throw a sound effect on that. Nah, I'm gonna let you live. Bro.
Fred Sanford right out of this chair, son.
Hey, anyway. I started the strikeout mess. I struck out in pool play looking, and then right after that, Cronstead struck out Johnny Dykes looking. I'm like, okay. I don't feel so bad. Then later on, Cronstead struck out looking, and then Willie did. I'm like, all right, I'm in good company. It happens, man.
Happens to the best of us. It is what it is.
I'm Cade looking. It is what it is.
From a team aspect, a strikeout's better than a double play.
Amen. That's right. Amen. Say it again.
You know, and also we've had the discussion before. It's what's worse, striking out looking or striking out swinging? Well, striking out looking, you just didn't think it was going to be a strike. You know, you strike out swinging. What are you doing? You can't hit a softball?
Just failed. That was just fail.
Yeah, that's bad. That's bad.
You just didn't think it was
shout out to Looking Don. Shout out to Looking Don right there.
And there it is.
You know how to do it.
Sorry, boys. We were getting late in the program. We haven't made fun of Don yet. Sorry it was during the segment, but we had to do it. It's almost like an every week thing.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely, we're giving Willie a break, and he knows. He's been doing this a long time. He knows what to do, even in a strikeout situation. The funny thing is, McDill hit great all week, but the one video I got for him was when he did hit a little pitching wedge there, and we got a double out of it, and that was the one I got off a U-Trip Live and sent it to him.
It was a horrible shot.
Yeah, I mean, team coming together. Like I said, Johnny and Carlos really combining on the mound. I think, and Carlos was a late addition. Am I right there, or was he kind of later in the process? He got in there.
Yes, he was. He was a late addition. And he came out and he offered whatever I needed. He was there for it. And and that was echoed pretty much by all the guys. I think about the third game is when we really became a team. It wasn't about individual playing time or who hits where. It was all about winning at that point. And that's when we start to get on a roll.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm familiar with the guys from New Jersey, and that one was a little extra sweet for me. With the guys I know back home. I got to be honest, nobody's answered a couple text messages I sent Sunday, so we'll have to see.
Well, we battled with those guys in Worlds too, and they're a tough team, man. So that was having to face them 3 times, but being able to send them home, man, that was awesome. After that game, I'm like, everything else is gravy.
Now, Willie, real quick, being a pitcher, and I always try to steer the conversation if I can towards something to do with pitching. Let's talk about that goddamn net, man. You guys used that thing to perfection as strategy, and I loved it. Like, when did those conversations start about using that thing in that way?
Well, probably game one. I went to the Challenge Cup last year and it was available, and you can see sometimes it's a nuisance to the batter that likes to hit up the middle, and sometimes other guys it's not. So we talked about it really during game one about when to use it, who's up, give the team a different look, and just try to make them uncomfortable, And as you saw, in one game it particularly came in play, the last out against Jersey.
That was. I hate that thing, but man, if you're going to Challenge Cup, you gotta use it because it works. Certain guys, literally, I don't know what it is. It's like instant anger. Like, how dare they put that net in front of me? And I don't understand it because if you hit it, you're out, dummy. You better learn to hit around it or over it or something. But and I can't think of a better word. So John, please excuse my description, but I think of it over the weekend. John is more a power pitcher and only because I'm going to say that Carlos was a little more finesse. And what I say is I've seen both pitches from the box. Carlos's ball looks so good. You start slobbering and get excited, and it just goes somewhere you don't expect it to go.
Just dips. Yes.
Whereas
John's
pitches move, but it's more of a power. It gets on you a little quicker, a little slower than you're ready for. But Carlos is literally move. So when the net would come out and thinking what I know, I was, oh my God, it's genius, and these poor bastards from these other states don't even know what's coming. And it worked to perfection when it went in. Now, Carlos, this is the only negative thing I'm probably going to say the whole time. He got a little cute there, started throwing and, started trying to aim instead of pitch. And that was me being armchair quarterback watching, U-Trip live. Like, I don't know why he's just hit the mat. You got to have a strike pitch. And that was, irrational fan watching,
but like you said earlier, both of them.
But he pulled it out.
Great job.
Yeah, and he pulled it out, and I was wrong. I was getting nervous for nothing. He knew exactly what he was doing, and I was just losing my mind on every pitch when I forgot to go, hey, dummy, you have to see the forest from the trees. He's probably got a plan here. And I never saw Carlos even sweat about it. Normally, I see kind of his demeanor, right? His head will get down, or that never happened, and I was so enthralled in the game, I didn't think for 2 seconds. I could have saw that on the feed. Shout out to the guy, by the way, who announced your games, the ship in the third place. Granted, he had to learn what a mat was over a tarp, but beyond that dude was legit. He was really good, man. He was really by the championship game, he was dead on, but right at the beginning of the third place game, he's like, and if you notice, folks, if you're not familiar with the senior game, they have a tarp over home plate. I went, oh no. But he got it, man. He got it, and I'm pretty sure it's still up on U-Trip Live. You can go watch the games. DM me on the side. My $10 is good for another 2 weeks, so I'll be more than happy to. Maybe we can get these things recorded for posterity for you guys, because they're something that, honestly, it's going to sound corny, but anybody should watch and learn a couple things, man. Because there's some guys here who could learn a thing or two about becoming a team and playing to the team and not your batting average by watching those games. And I'll leave it at that. I made that post. Egos have killed teams long before a batting average or a fielding slump, and that's not going to change. So it was awesome to see, guys.
There was none of that on this team. None. I mean, maybe we're too old to have egos. I don't know. But, I mean, there's not one person that had a beef with anybody else. Nobody argued. Nobody talked smack about each other. Everybody picked each other up. Everybody was rooting for each other. I mean, the energy was so positive. There was just no way we weren't going to do well.
Right.
Well, let me ask, Willie, we'll start with you. Is there anybody else you kind of wanted to shout out or kind of bring up here on the show tonight?
Well, yeah, really, all the guys. They, like I said, everybody chipped in. I'm looking at the averages right now. Mike Reardon, he was deserving of all-tourney, but I only had 4 and an offensive MVP. He was really deserving of it, and just off the top of my head, I missed it. Honestly. Let's see who else. You know what? One thing you might want to suggest for the Challenge Cup next year is to have a defensive MVP as well. You know,
I absolutely know the person to bring that to. Actually.
okay. 'Cause, I mean, like I said, everybody chipped in. Even when some guys were slumping a little bit, they still chipped in. They ran bases. They cheered their teammates on. I mean, it was all good. Nobody, like Kevin said, nobody was pouting or saying all the stuff like, oh, I could have done that. No, nobody was doing that. So
no, that's awesome. Yeah, that's Boston, by the way, for you folks. Some people only know Mike as Boston, so we need to clarify there. Somebody chat, and I didn't even think about it, so I saw it. All right, Kev, what about you? Anything that happened that maybe you want to kind of put out there?
One of the things I posted in one of the many discussions about this tournament was that the best part of playing with all these guys is I get a front row seat to watch them play. And you're talking about the best guys in the game. And I mean, to call out one person over another, it's not possible. You got to give everybody their props. Everybody played amazing. I guess if I would call out one person in particular, and again, not to put him over anybody else, but Eric Zimmerman hadn't been playing much at all. He moved to Texas recently and he hadn't been playing, and man, that dude didn't miss a step. I mean, some of the plays he was making it short. I mean, I was hitting behind him, so I got to see him smash the ball every time. I mean, he and Soto were launching bombs like they were nothing. I mean, it was fun to watch, fun to be a part of.
Yeah.
All right.
Eric hadn't played in 3 months.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy.
That's impressive. Well, I will end things with the same question I asked everybody else, guys. McDill, if you get asked next year, would you go?
100%.
Appreciate it. Willie, now let's just, I don't know, I guess coach, player, either or. We'll put it to you as far as next year, because I'm not making the call. So.
Okay. Well, as a player, I've been twice, and like I said, I'm a team guy, and I'd like to give other guys some opportunity. As a coach, yeah, I'd be open to that.
Well, whoever's making that decision next year, I don't know who it's going to be. I'm not going to try to speculate. Yeah. But you got a big fat.
There's a lot of guys that are deserving that didn't get to go this year, and it's
Well, you got a big fat second place on your resume, and that's going to be real hard to top when going down the list to see who's available to coach next year. I'll just say that out loud. I handed you an impossible situation. I've admitted that. I will continue to admit that. You had it harder than any other coach, and if any of them take offense to that, they need to get over it, because I was there, and you put together gold. And I understand there was a lot of help, but you took the first step and accepted the position, and I can never thank you enough for that. You have my eternal gratitude. Thank you again for this amazing run that we all got to go on with you guys. And again, you did us all really proud, every single one of you guys that went down there for the 50s competitive team this year.
Thank you. Well, next year, I think we can win it. We could have won it this year, but the 5 games in a row. No excuse.
Well, that's the goal. Get winner's bracket next Sunday. I got it.
I'd like to say Florida won, but they're not a better team. We have more good hitters. They have Johnny Dykes, yay. But we have more good hitters than they do.
I agree.
Well, best I can put for you is to be continued, boys. We'll have to see how the year goes. But, maybe we can push that a little bit as the year goes here on the program. Again, Willie, Kevin, thank you so much for joining us on the program. And I'm sure we're going to see you guys over the course of the year, and we'll talk again.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, boys. Appreciate it.
Indeed.
Wow, man. Go to UTrip Live, man. I'll give you my login. Go watch these games. You can learn so much, man. It was so much fun to watch, and I appreciate those guys joining us. All right, look, we did the best we could. We're still at an hour and a half here.
I'm okay. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that, legit, because it's worthwhile. It's a special situation. It's not like we were just over here, fucking off.
I understand.
Like that. Yeah.
And I think I chased off anybody who was waiting to hear our predictions for the weekend.
Yeah. No, it's all good. Like I know, I know it is a situation that doesn't happen all the time. And I think it's important that we take the time, in spite of other things, we take the time and really give people the opportunity to get the credit that they really do deserve.
At the end of the day, it's a tournament this weekend. What those guys did last weekend is could be a once in a generation, once in a life. Who knows, man? Like that's
yeah. It's worth talking about. It's worth talking about. Hey, so listen, look. I got to say this up front. So I know that we obviously are blessed enough in most cases to have the opportunity to have like Vic and have the ear of some of the folks that matter. But I do really still believe that, something that you kind of alluded to that I will say needs to go a little further, not just a prize package. I think we really need to get to a point where some of the states themselves are supporting these teams in some way, shape, or fashion. I'm not going to go as far as to say they should be paying for everything or anything ridiculous like that. I'm a reasonable guy. But I do think it's necessary that these guys, I think it's necessary that these guys get a little more support financially, a little more support, in general. I know Bob does a good job of making sure that we're kind of aware of what's going on in the tournaments and stuff like that with the kids games and senior for that matter. But it feels almost kind of dry, to have these guys pay all this money to go over there and represent, et cetera. And they do all that. And when you think about it, they had to pay for most of the stuff that they had to do. And, they didn't really get a whole lot out of it. I know we play this game for all these reasons. I don't want to hear that shit. I know everybody, has points of, well, you're just playing for a t-shirt or some dumb shit. Yeah, I get it. But what I'm saying is, again, I think it's necessary to give these guys some additional assistance or some type of assistance that does demonstrate that acceptance of what they do and that appreciation of what they're going through to be out there. I think to echo something else you're saying, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you add prizes or you add a different type of package to it all. I think you do then start to get more of the players who may have been on the fence and we're just kind of like, this is bullshit for a t-shirt that I got to pay for. But I think that's something that has to somehow be addressed or has to be improved, because at the end of the day, this organization makes a ton of money off of these tournaments. I realize that margins are what they are. I realize inflation and all these different things that that factor in. I'm understanding. I'm not a fool. However, it's hard for me to believe that each of the states can't contribute in some way to these tournaments, to the Challenge Cup and to the teams that are involved in the Challenge Cup, because at the end of the day, they're hosting the Challenge Cup at a facility that is largely U-Trip. I won't say owned, but it's largely U-Trip there all the time. And
there's an easy way to do it. Yeah. And I don't know. And I proposed it, and I just don't know. I don't know how high up it went. I know that Vic put it in for me, and made the suggestions. I don't know, but it's such. So like you'd said, you kind of touched on it. So they hosted at Space Coast, right? So it's the national. It's the home of U-Trip softball, and they show those fields, and there we are in Easton commercial, and boy, and it's all over. So okay, I get it. So then what I don't understand is the tournament already has the negative connotation long before seniors got in there, but we're that didn't help it any. Right. That are the detractors of the tournament, it's a money grab.
Yep.
So why would you not directly attack that perceived notion by, I don't know, not charging guys to walk in the goddamn gate Challenge Cup weekend, or lowering the price to lower than what it is, because I understand. I ran tournaments, so I understand umps got to get paid, directors got to get paid. They have more personnel on site, but if you actually wanted to get this thing in a better spot from a PR perspective, and let's face it, we say it all the time, perception is king. All right, I don't understand. These are easy ones, man. This is not hard. You should be fighting your asses off to fight these perceptions. Like, you're not going to win everything, man. All right, so you take your L's where you can. There's just guys are always going to cry. All right, but if guys or girls or whoever, the ones crying aren't going, well, at least then you can say, well, You didn't go. But when the guys who were going, when the girls who were going have these same complaints, they should be paying attention. So, again, somebody posted up. It was $8 a day to get in there. All right?
Yeah.
So you're already charging the amount for the team to register to play. All right? So why can't there be some kind of incentive? I don't understand how we can't take, because the only way you're going to be able to make it fair to all the states participating is take money off the entry fee.
I don't even want to call it
certain
fair.
amount of, you know?
Hold on. I don't even want, because fair is so subjective, right? Usually when you use the word fair, you almost automatically push someone away from this. Fair moves around. Fair, I know everyone thinks the word fair means a middle ground or something like that, but it's not. Fair moves. Fair is a relative term. The fairness, I think, is what it is. You're gonna set your rules and etc. But I think what continues to almost undermine the idea or the concept or the onus of this event is that who is it really benefiting anymore? Right, we're a few years in. Right, first year, before seniors, I know that's different, but first year you could say, okay, they're trying to figure it out. They're trying to do something different to boost the sanction and make people think about it and create this all-star atmosphere or whatever. Then a couple of years later, you're still doing the same things and you're continuing to add things, but none of those things are really to the benefit of your consumer or the players or to anyone else but yourself. But in the same breath, you're also trying to make it about the consumer, the players, and not about yourself. But everyone's kind of getting to the point where it's like you're not doing anything for anyone for this to be such a big deal. To your point about fairness, and I know you use fairness, and I just happen to kind of riff off of that. But to your point, yeah, you have it in Florida. That means most of those areas right there, Georgia, Florida, all those areas right in that general vicinity, they're in an advantage because it doesn't cost them nearly as much. They're in an advantage because they're used to it. They're at an advantage because there's things that they can do that are a little bit different. To then make everyone pay all these things, and then in the states themselves, that's why I keep focusing on the states themselves. From a national standpoint, they're just like, look, we're putting this fucking thing on. You bring your ass or you don't. But for the states, that's where it goes, wait a minute. Why over the course of a year? Because it's not like we just figured out the Challenge Cup's coming tomorrow. We know it's coming. We know the time frame. Why aren't we doing a little bit more for the teams and for the players that are going? I'm not saying comp them everything or anything freaking foolish like that. I'm not nuts, right? I'm not crazy shit. But I think someone else said in the chat, and it's funny, but it's true. Well, it's almost like senior softball. Like, hey, pay out $600, $700 or whatever to get here, and then we're gonna give you a fucking t-shirt. Even if it's just, again, it could be the smallest things, like you said, dropping the price of entry, throwing in a lunch or a lunch or something like that for the players, or one lunch. And I don't mean that has to come from national. It could be a combination of things. To that same point, because I'm not willing to throw all of the blame on, states or nationals or organization. To that same point, it's a lot of motherfuckers with a lot of opinions about these teams that ain't dropping a goddamn dime for these teams or for the players that are going or not going or whatever else you want to look at. I hear a lot of motherfuckers that go, well, this should have been this way and this should have been that way and this should have been that. And I'm like, yo, man, we got time. We going there right now.
Yeah, don't you worry, Kevin.
Right now. Yeah. I just again, as the last thing, I'll shut up, because I obviously haven't said a whole lot in the show, but I really think we have to look at how we support these teams and how we support these players for something that, we are pitching. We, as in everyone who participates in the sanction, we are pitching as such a big deal and the pinnacle just below, winning fucking worlds or some shit like that. We're pitching it that way, but we're not giving them, the opportunities and the benefits that they deserve for it. So I would love for all of the parts of the organization, including us as players, to do something that's going to make this thing not only worthwhile for the players, worthwhile for the sanction, worthwhile for the organization, but something where everybody comes out with something beyond just bills, debt, and tired. Or, you know what I'm saying? Again, I love it. I know I've said this before. I love the Challenge Cup idea. I just think it really needs to be fleshed out, and it needs to be fleshed out from a standpoint that isn't just one-sided benefit or non-material benefit, for the organization or something like that. So
yeah, I'll end the thought on this. At a later date, I'm sure we will talk about Challenge Cup again. I have the unique perspective of having the whole year of going through it, what I tried to do, try to get an early start for the same reasons you're saying, to give people an opportunity to raise more money because it's expensive. We can go through all of that. I had numbers in my head in January, June, and October, and they were all different for different reasons, and you got to be able to pivot. So
of course,
I can answer, and I will be transparent as far as costs and what had happened. I mean, just for example, I lost 4 tournaments last year that I had planned on, 2 to rain, 1 to a field problem that I had nothing to do with, and then 3 to rain and 1 to a field problem I had nothing to do with. So that's we can go over how much money I actually lost there, but that's literally the money for the uniforms that I was going to put up. And think about something. In the senior program, depending on the time of the year and team schedules, I could have 20, I could have 8. So it's impossible to try to forecast numbers to be able to give somebody something. But later down the road, I'll be more than happy to tell you exactly what I tried to do.
I hate to be that guy, and it's nothing against you. But again, it's planning and budgeting. You know what I mean? And like you said, and I'm agreeing with you. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm simply saying it's planning and budgeting. Yes, it's about about being able to pivot, being agile, being flexible. But I think the way you're talking about it was probably not the norm. The way you're talking about also kind of exhibits the fact that there's more to be done. But like I said, I still love the idea. There are a couple people in chat. I'm not able to put them up because the message is really long, that kind of echo the way I look at it, which is it's an honor. You're representing your state. You're representing the people that you play with and play against at all times. You're representing all of them across divisions, across ages, across teams, and et cetera. Not to mention you're running into people who are of like mind and and iron sharpens iron. And this is one of those instances where you go out there and you come back with something from that alone. I don't want to discount that, but I do want to say that, when we start talking about the competitive portion of the Challenge Cup, I think when you make it something that there is a tangible benefit as well as the other intangibles, I think that's when you really start to see this thing, shoot through the roof. It has definitely grown. I won't say anything negative, and I'm not meaning this to be negative. I'm simply saying there is room for improvement. I know all of us that play, if you're a hitter and you can go 9 for 10 or some shit in a tournament, if you're going away from that and saying you're perfect, you're doing it wrong. And that's kind of what we're going, what I'm going for with the Challenge Cup conversation here, is just because it's good doesn't mean it's as good as it could be. And there's always room to improve. Let's move over here to our big point, our other big point, before we run out of time.
Big thing happening this weekend.
Dude, I know I don't say a whole lot about a lot of things, but I'm going to tell you right now, John Jones is my favorite fucking MMA fighter, period, bar none. Period, bar none, times whatever the fuck you can say. I don't give a shit whatever point anybody has to make. This is going to be the most ridiculously fucking ignorant comment that I'll ever make in my whole life. I don't give a fuck what anybody say. John Jones is winning this fucking fight by whatever fucking way he wants to. And now I'll let you do your thing.
So this weekend, this is how I know John Jones is going to fucking destroy our boy. All right. Because in the last week and a half,
our boy.
Did I say our boy? What did I say?
You did. We not. No, we not. We will not blaspheme Jonathan Jones on this.
No,
program.
That's not what I'm talking about. I just said.
So you said no. You said our boy. You said the
John
reason
Jones
why
is going to destroy our boy.
He ain't our boy.
It was sarcastic.
Nah, fuck that. I'm not even. Look, I told you. When it comes
all right,
to Jones,
let me start
bro,
the fuck over. I want to be done so I can go have a coffee and a cigarette. God damn it. Listen, John Jones is going to win this fucking fight whenever he wants to, just like you said. Here's how I know it to be a fact, all right?
Yes.
The last week, every single show that talks about UFC is trying to pump fucking Surreal Gone up like I've never seen. DC trying to tell me, well, John Jones, he's got power, but doesn't have stopping power. And Surreal Gane's got power. and listen, Surreal Gane has those same skills. DC, I know what you're trying to do. I know you're not shitting on Jones directly or whatnot. All right, so it's either one of two things. All right, either Dana told you to try to make Surreal Gane look like a real fucking competitor. This ain't the WWE. Knock it the fuck
Uncle
off.
Dana said, "Nah, you got to make it work."
Or number 2, get over it, motherfucker. Get over it, all right? They put you in the Hall of Fame, all right? Get the fuck over it, dude. He whooped your ass. On drugs, off drugs, steroid, whatever. He whooped your ass, DC.
Hold on, you didn't even say the number of times. Both
Twice.
fucking times.
Should've
Beat his
been
ass,
3,
beat
but
the
it was
shit
2.
out of it. It wasn't even like, let's think about it. You got your shit pushed in twice. After the motherfucker told you he was gonna whoop your ass, he came in there and fucked you up, and then you still over there in your fucking feelings 5 years later. Sorry, I get hype off that shit, bro.
I mean, if that's what it is, get the fuck over it. If it's, the UFC told you hype him up, I get it, but it ain't gonna work, all right? Look, John hasn't fought in a long time, so I'm gonna give JJ 2 rounds to kind of get his feet under him. Remember being back in the octagon, be like, oh shit, my whole upper body is way bigger than I remember. I gotta adjust here a little bit. Because look, wrestling around, yes, exactly. He went on a fucking coke bender and then whooped your ass.
Man.
All right? For like 20 minutes, whooped your ass, DC.
Like he could have put you away a few times, and he was like, nah, I'm gonna play with my
high
food,
on coke. Bro. The coke had worn off, and he still whooped your ass for 3 rounds. Moving on.
Hey, hold on. One second. Kev said, you want this crap? I want to be on when you guys talk fighting. All right, you already know what it is. We make that happen. There's nothing. It's nothing. Sorry, go ahead.
The link's up there. All right, but but it's not just DC doing it. Like even Ariel, who's not UFC anymore, is trying to hype him up. They had Jones on, then they had a Surreal on. Like there was another show. Like even shows like on ESPN that don't really talk about UFC. Here's Surreal gone. Guys, who the fuck are you fooling? You think because Jones was away for 3 years? Did you see the motherfucker? His whole torso looks like one of those old dolls where you could change out the torso and the legs and put a different guy's body on another guy's legs. Like, he's just a different dude.
Yep.
All right? And I've seen Surreal Gone fight. It's amazing that he got to number 1. But look, John Jones could have stayed light heavyweight and still fucked Surreal Gone up in 3 rounds this weekend.
Damn.
All right?
That ass.
So I appreciate UFC trying to tease me with this. I get it, Dana. You want to see John win a fight first before you're going to let him fight Stipe. You don't want to let him go to the fucking undisputed GOAT without him proving himself because he's fucked you so much. I get it, Dana, all right?
He gonna serve,
I get it. But don't try to sell me some bullshit.
He gonna serve
I'll pay
Stipe
for the
too.
fucking fight. I won't, but please. Stipe, Stipe was fighting for a long time.
Oh, hell yeah.
He finally said, all right, win your fight and I'm ready. All right, Stipe, because you better be already trained.
Get what you want. I'm gonna
you better be ready.
Yeah, man. Hey, this has been a great show. It's been a great fucking show. Shout out
look,
again
I'm gonna say right now,
Challenge Cup teams.
Why worried about the weekend, boys? I got enough on my mind. I got to get ready to play. Sorry for no predictions. That's the way it is. I feel biased doing any AAA prediction now since I'm playing the majors. I'll only say this: no predictions. But Bandits are the champs till they get beat. And I'm warning you now, watch out for Blue Pill Mafia this weekend. Watch out. They're going to surprise the people. That's it. Gagne's legit. He fights in the UFC in the heavyweight division. I agree. But he's not on John Jones' fucking level, bro. That pack is not getting given away tonight. We only got 17 people. I said it earlier in the show. Go sign up for the fucking thing. Give yourselves a chance. I don't know why we have to even do this. It's free. It's free, mother. Get on that.
Yeah.
Dude, Gon's a good dude. It's John Jones. Wake up, folks. We know how good this dude is. Just because you ain't seen him in 3 years ain't changed the fact that he gets in trouble a little bit, but he's still a bad MFer.
Pretty much. Hey, let's get out of here. Shout out to everybody on the Challenge Cup, and we are out.